或者係我哋中國人嘅啤酒啦。我好欣賞青島呢支。
泡沫呀，那些都还是挺丰富的。
我最喜欢的是哈尔滨啤酒。
China is the largest beer market in the world, and a particularly hard one to crack. Global brands have been desperate to sell more here, but you know what? It's really competitive.
International beer giants like Heineken, Carlsberg, and Anheuser-Busch are in an intense competition with the Chinese giants like Tsingtao and Snow.
Last year alone, the country consumed 46 billion liters of beer. That's about twice as much as in the US. The issue with this market, mostly because it's so competitive, is that it's really hard to make money. Consumers here can buy beer for about 30 cents a can in supermarkets.
We're in Yomate. Historically, this is a place with a lot of local business. There's a night market. Locals that come out here to eat some street food and drink some beer at night.
Chris Wong has been selling beer in the region for the past 7 years to wholesale and individual consumers.
So a lot of people, they enter into the China market, seeing a lot of people there, they see a pot of gold. However, there's a lot of difficulties, right? The people are used to drinking very cheap commercial lagers, just as cheap as water.
International beer makers and startups alike want people to drink more expensive beer, like IPAs, wheat beers, or just regular lagers popped in fancy bottles. These drinks can make up to 11 times more money than the regular beer usually consumed in China.
So, how do you convince people to spend more money on beer, especially at a time when the Chinese economy is slowing down? First, you gotta tap into the culture.
We do about 1,000 liters per batch every day. Production has been increasing constantly every month over the last 6 years since we've been operating.
Rohit Dugar says that you can't succeed in the market without understanding Chinese consumers. The Hong Kong-based entrepreneur launched a line of craft beers called Young Master that sit at the very top end of the market. His beers sell for up to $20 at bars in large Chinese cities, something many brewers dream about. He says his rivals don't have a plan like his.
There are small startup, much larger breweries. They are viewing China as kind of a quick win. The long-term success will be for people who are on the ground, putting in fundamental effort.
So Dugar has developed a clear-cut strategy: make his beers look and taste familiar to Chinese drinkers.
The way we name our beers, the illustrations from local scenes, the aesthetics we use, everything is kind of informed by local culture. This beer is called Caotantang Sour. We added some salt-cured lime, and it's a very common ingredient used locally. People mix it with sodas and drink it in coffee shops.
I like to kick it. Cheers. Cheers. Oh, that's good. Tastes like something I would drink like after running a marathon.
But not all Chinese consumers are ready to shell out $20 for a luxurious craft beer. We asked Matteo Fantacchiotti,
Hey, how's it going?
who manages sales for Carlsberg in Asia, to explain how his company does the job.
Blanc is quite a citrusy beer. It pairs well with fine dining group experience.
Carlsberg sells a wide range of beers, and each one is marketed to suit different occasions.
This is the typical local beer in China, so very light, going very well with hot pot and hot cuisine.
Here are some of Carlsberg's beers you can get at a grocery store, from the low end to the premium. The idea is to get people who've been drinking a Wuzu for about $1 to upgrade to a Carlsberg. The goal would be to gradually move them all the way up to a $3 Brooklyn Lager.
Beer makers are doing everything they can to stand out. Brands put their logo on the tap right here in front of consumers' faces. Corona has figured out that limes are key to grabbing people's attention, and Chinese consumers see it as a novelty. It's one of the key reasons why Corona sales in China have surged about 25 times over the past 4 years.
Where beer comes from is important to Chinese drinkers.
Drinking a more premium international brand is a symbol of, first, you can afford it, secondly, you know what to drink, and the local brand will play a significant role because there is that pride, the habit of, drinking your local beer brand.
An example of super local beer: Wind Flower Snow Moon. Carlsberg has been acquiring local craft breweries like this one in Yunnan. Industry analysts say Chinese consumers are attracted by foreign brands, which has made some, like Budweiser, extremely successful in the region.
Beer makers want to appeal to Chinese palates. Remember that fermented lime beer from that Hong Kong brewery? Well, there's also pineapple-flavored beer. And some brewers say their beers are made with wheat and clean water to give off a healthy impression.
So, I didn't have to drink these beers while reporting this story, but I insisted on it. You know, for the sake of journalistic due diligence.
It's not bad. It's fruity, pleasant. I can get used to it.
These sales strategies have been used before in other parts of the world.
We could have brewed our beer in a town you've never heard of.
And actually worked pretty well.
Let them drink beer!
But beer makers say it's even more important to get them right in China. Because if they don't plan properly, there can be consequences.
It's not proceeding with its announced public offering.
For example, in July, Anheuser-Busch InBev, the producer of Budweiser,
China sales for them is a big deal.
dropped its plan for what would have been the year's biggest IPO. The company says it flopped because of prevailing market conditions.
Investors worried that the strategy would not make enough money in Asia.
The intense competition between Chinese and international beer makers might scare boardrooms and investors across the world. But for Chinese drinkers, that only means one thing: a greater diversity of beers. So consumers better hope that companies keep up the fight.